Hello guys, in this session we are going to talk about the function procedures. What is function procedures? So before we start about the function procedures, let's understand what is the meaning of function and why we need function during the programming. So let me give you one example. Let's say that here you have a code. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, let's say here you have a code. Let's assume that these are the instructions, right? Okay, so these are the instructions. Now what is happening, okay, let's say I'm just giving the name to code or a blocks. This is my B, this is my C. Again I'm using the same code B, again I'm using the same code A, then some D and some E. So now what is happening, if you notice here some codes, see I wrote okay, so here I have 4 lines. The same lines I'm writing again, right? It might be possible after few lines I require again this lines, it might be possible, right? Means I'm writing the same lines again and again and again. And similar with the B portion, here I have 3 lines, right? And these 3 lines I'm writing again. It might be possible that somewhere below this code I need these 3 lines again. So in that case it is not a good idea to write the same lines again and again and again. So now you can say that ma'am we have loops, right? So we can use loops. No, here we can't use loop because here we have interval or the okay, here we have the interval or the gaps between the code. Like here I am using the code here, and after this much of break I am using this code again. Means I cannot write these statements in a loop, because loop is something which works in a continuous manner, right? So I cannot use loop. So what is the idea? The idea to solve this problem is function. We call it a function. Now what will we do? Now I'll write 4 lines here. These 4 lines I'll write here, and I'll remove these lines from this section. I'll give these lines name A, and simply I'll call at this location. Whenever it is required, I'll call it, right? So now instead of writing the same line again and again, whenever it is required, call it, right? And this concept we call a function. In many cases it might be possible that after working something after working something over here, if I am working here in this location, I call this, and after performing some job it may return some value. It might be possible that it brings some values with it when it returns back. So this is the concept of the function. Now let's see how we use function in VB. Here we call it a function procedures. So what is function procedure? So as we have just discussed, that a procedure is a group of statements. It's a group of statements, right? See, it is a group of statements. So it's a group of statements that together perform a task, but when it will perform, whenever it is called. So see here what is happening. Here I have this piece of code, right? I have this piece of code. It is there in my program, but I can call it whenever it is required. So I will call and it will give me the service, right? So whenever it is required, we can call it or we can use it. Then after the procedure is executed, the control returns. After the procedure executed, the control returns to the statement. So yeah, statements calling the procedure. So what is happening? Once we will call and then it will come back here and it will start performing the next job, this way, right? So after the procedure is executed, the control returns to the statement calling the procedure. Now, VB.NET has two types of procedures, two different types of procedures VB has. One is a function, function, and the second is the subprocedure, or just simply we can write sub. So let's see what is the difference between these two procedures and also how we can use functions and subprocedures in our program. So very first we'll see that how to declare the function procedures. It is similar to the way we used to declare the function in C programming. So the function statement is used to declare. Function is a statement. Function is a statement which we use to declare. Of course we need to declare, right? Why we declare? Because compiler can come to know that yes, so and so function is there in the program. So to declare we need some parameters like name and parameters and the body of the function. And how to declare it? So here we have the syntax. What you can write? First you need to write the modifiers, then function is a keyword, then the name of the function. After that, list of parameters, means what parameters you want to pass, and then s, and then the return type. If this function is returning something, if it is returning some value, you can simply write down the data type of the return value. Then you can write your logic, your statements, and do not forget to close the function by writing end function. It is just like in C we used to write this way, remember? Okay, give me the example. If you remember, in C we used to write this way. Suppose sum is a function and if it is returning the integer value, we used to write integer, then let's say sum is a function name, then some parameter, let's say a and b, then we perform some operation, and at the end we write return answer, right? Suppose we have performed a plus b and we are storing into a and s. So similar way, here we have the syntax to declare the function procedure. So let's understand the terms. What is modifier? Okay, what is modifier? So modifier is generally specify the access level of the function. I mean, throughout the function, throughout the program, what is the access level of your function? Do you want to keep it public or a private or the protected? You have already learned public, private, protected concept in the OPS concept, right? So it can be your friend function, right? It can be your friend function, or it can be your protected friend function. It can be any. So based on the access level of this function, you can provide the modifiers, right? Here you can write the modifier. After that, the function name. Okay, it's easy. It will follow the same naming convention rule. Then the parameter list. If you want to pass some parameters, you can simply mention the list here by using the comma, and in the last we have the return type. In the end we have the return type. So yeah, return type specifies the data type of the variable the function returns. If it is returning integer value, you can write the integer. If it is returning string, you can write the string. So this way you can declare the function procedure in the VB.NET. So that's all about the function procedures. In the next session we will discuss about the sub procedures, and also we will know that what is the difference between function and sub procedures. So that's it for now.